Now, the drama over infrastructure and social spending continues on Capitol Hill. Initially, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said that there would only be a vote on the infrastructure bill if there was also agreement on a $3.5 trillion human infrastructure bill. But it seems like she's changed her tune in a compromise with a handful of moderate Democrats and is scheduled to move ahead with a vote on a smaller bipartisan hard infrastructure bill tomorrow. But here's the challenge. She can't pass that bill on its own without progressive members who will only lend their support if they strike a deal on the human infrastructure bill. And that has yet to happen. Pelosi now has less than 24 hours to bring the progressive and moderate factions of her party together in order to pass both the bills. And if she can't, Biden's Build Back Better agenda will be null and void. Earlier this week, I spoke with Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, whip of the Progressive Caucus, about the standoff that they're in and their commitment to ensure social and climate policies are prioritized. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, I am so excited to have this conversation with you today. I woke up and I saw that you had published not one, but two op-eds today talking about the Build Back Better Act, the urgency of this week, and certainly critiquing and calling on your colleagues to do the right thing. So I wanted to start by just going through where we are. What is happening right now on the Hill with regards to the human infrastructure package that the progressives are really anxious to move forward?
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me. There is a lot happening on Capitol Hill. We are still negotiating this human infrastructure portion of the Build Back Better agenda that the president put forth. Majority of the American public supports, and majority of our caucus in general supports. The progressive caucus leaders, including myself, Chairwoman Chayapal and Katie Porter, have put forth our arguments on why it's necessary for these two bills to move in tandem and why we have to be able to deliver this agenda and this promise that we made to the American people. Every single one of us in our communities is having a conversation with our constituents about the challenges they are facing with childcare costs, with Medicare costs, and with the need to address the climate crisis that we are all feeling in our communities. And so we can't do this legislation just in addressing the standard infrastructure that definitely needs investment without addressing the human infrastructure that also needs dire investment.
Now, to me, this just sounds like common sense. It matters that we invest in communities, in people, in workers, in families, in childcare, all these things. I'm just interested, can you explain to us what is happening with the moderates that seem to have some consternation around moving these in tandem and had even tried to set up today as a deadline of a demand to move forward the quote-unquote hard infrastructure package first and then, you know, leave all the rest of this hanging in the balance? What can you explain to us kind of what's the difference there and what are people, you know, nervous about?
So what is normally common sense to regular people is not usually common sense to folks in Washington, which is, you know, where our heartache and pain is at this moment. We are trying to convince our colleagues to remember who they actually represent and not to do the bidding of big pharma, Wall Street, and big oil. There's a lot of conversations that are happening with some of our colleagues, especially conservative Democrats, who think it is important for them to protect the investments of these corporations and not protect the investments that are needed in order to move our country forward.
When you talk about the people and remembering who you represent, one of the things you mentioned in one of your op-eds today is this idea of deep canvassing that you and your colleagues are doing. You actually talking to the people about what they need and want, and you were offering that as, you know, the way that you have your finger on the pulse. Can you tell us about the deep canvassing you've been doing and what you've been hearing?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tradition, right? Doing campaigning that you go and have a conversation with folks, trying to persuade them to vote for you. What we believe is that that conversation shouldn't just happen during an election cycle. It should happen every day, because we are elected. We are representatives of the people. I represent more than 700,000 folks in my district. I am entrusted to be their voice in Congress, and I can't do that without actually having these conversations with them regularly. We obviously do that through our town halls and other engagements, but you don't get the kind of engagement you get at the doors through a town hall conversation. And so we think it's important for people to do deep canvassing in their communities. These are conversations that take 10 to 20 minutes at the door, where we're talking to folks about what their needs are, what problems they have, and how we can collectively come up with a solution to address those problems.
So while you're out there, Congresswoman, talking to your people, talking to constituents, it just seems like a lot of the headlines we're reading are that some in the Democratic caucus are just playing politics rather than thinking about the people in terms of how they're looking at all of this. And so I'm curious. I know that you are the whip for the Progressive Caucus, so you are very much have your finger on the pulse of what your colleagues are thinking and feeling. And I'm just curious, how do you see at least the vote starting to shake out? What are people prioritizing, and how does that look as you're whipping the caucus?
Yeah, we have a solid whip. Majority of our caucus in the Progressive Caucus, and so many others, actually, to our surprise, are joining us in saying that we shouldn't pass anything until we agree on truly getting the Build Back Better agenda intact, moving through both chambers of Congress, in the House and in the Senate, and getting it to the president's desk. So many of us continue to have conversations with our constituents and our colleagues, while there is a minority that spends their energy within the Democratic caucus talking to their donors. And we believe that we will eventually overcome these honest conversations about what is needed to address the kind of lack of investment that has taken place for decades. Is an important one, and we are having that conversation, and I think there is progress being made. I believe that we will ultimately pass this agenda fully intact, and the Democrats will come together and fulfill the agenda that the president has, that the majority of the American people support.
Now, I've read in one of your op-eds, it sounds like, you're trying to have a reasonable tone where you and your colleagues have said the $3.5 trillion plan is really what we want, that has to be on the table. We're willing to consider something maybe a little smaller, but we got to really hash this out and talk about it. It sounds like, you're willing to be thoughtful and reasonable, and I'm just curious, what is your take about the opposition, frankly, over on the Senate side? Because it seems to me that a lot of the brokering and the negotiation that's happening between the moderates and Pelosi and the progressives is actually hinging upon what people are expecting to happen over on the Senate side or not. And I wonder, at what point have you and your colleagues determined that we can't support the other bill unless we're able to get what we want? Has that conversation happened?
That conversation has been happening for months now. It's actually pleasant to see that the progressives are being the adults in the room. We are often told that it is the moderates that are willing to negotiate and compromise. But in this conversation, it has been actually the progressives who have been having the conversations, who have been trying to bring our caucus together, who've been supporting the president's agenda, who've been saying, this is why we've been given the majority in the House, the Senate, and the White House, and we have to deliver this agenda. We're willing to, have a conversation about different investments that we can make in childcare, in the care economy, in addressing our climate crisis, but we need partners to have those conversations with us, and we need partners that understand that there is a drastic need in America for us to work together and for us to deliver. And if we fail to do that, we are not only going to be punished in the midterms and lose our majority, but we ultimately would have failed in delivering our promise to the American people.
You said that it seems like some of the Democrats are more, worried about counting votes necessarily than doing what's right for the people. I wonder, as kind of a last word, what do you need from the White House on this, and are you getting it to move this along?
Yes, the White House has been a partner in this because it is their agenda and the agenda of the Democratic Party that we are fighting for. What we need them to do is to hold strong in saying that they want to fulfill this promise to the American people and pass this agenda fully intact. And do whatever it takes to get, those few senators on board, and obviously work with us in getting the House Democrats to collaboratively pass this agenda. The president has been very focused in making his agenda very clear and what he wants to accomplish. I am proud of the Speaker and Majority Leader Chuck Schumer in their steadfast commitment as well. This is a partnership. We know that it's a partnership on behalf of the American people. It's a partnership on behalf of having a once in a generational investment in our country. It's a partnership in creating jobs. It's a partnership in helping families who certainly need the support, and it's a partnership in addressing our infrastructure needs in this country.
Well, Congresswoman, this certainly stands to be a historic package if this can get passed. So let's hope that it can meet the moment and that both bodies of Congress, both houses, are able to move something forward. Appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much.